Welcome to the Twilight Zone for FNaF, working title, where we take a look at the many events that have occurred for FNaF in the past, assuming that the Twilight Zone is about time travel, from a guy who has never seen the Twilight Zone in his entire life. So, why don't we jump into the Twilight Zone for FNaF working title and see where all this FNaF fan game business started to December 1st, 2014. I have no idea how to transition this, I'm sorry. FNaTI Treasure Island was created by Matthew Phoenix Rodriguez, who goes by the username Anart1996, as a demo released on DeviantArt. It's primarily centered around the creepypasta story Abandoned by Disney, which discusses the infamous left-to-right theme park in Disney World, Adventure Island. Soon after, the game got an unexpectedly massive coverage from Let's Players on YouTube, and since then there have been many versions made after it, from not only Anart, but also from people he's loaned the rights to, as well as fans of the project. Due to its somewhat faded but pretty popular reputation in the FNaF fan game ecosystem, it was a bit tricky trying to find where the original game was. Could it have been this one? This one? Probably this one. Thankfully, there's a collection of all the old versions of the games, including the first one. Why I've decided to play the original is not only to satisfy my nostalgia tingles, but to see if it holds up for being one of, if not the first FNaF fan game. The story goes in the demo that, through a phone call from the one and only Greg, you play as an intern working for this company in Alabama who want to, I guess, investigate Treasure Island. It's never clearly explained. What you must do is sit there and monitor the place whilst also trying not to get killed by the wandering photo-negative Mickey. Luckily for you, he's blind and is only good in hearing, meaning that the way to get rid of him once you enter the office is by disabling cameras, as it makes enough noise to move him away from you. Seems that Scott isn't all that unique when it comes to his mechanics in the games, huh? Well, at least Scott was able to make FNaF 3 interesting. Here, my God, is it a drag. Nothing interesting occurs when Mickey is exploring the place, and even worse, you can barely see him due to how dark everything is, especially when he enters your office. I know he's able to hide from the player, but he doesn't need to put that much effort into it when the landscape's colours are already doing the job for him. There are other characters that rarely become active during this night, which are Oswald and the Face. Before we move on, there's one thing notable about Oswald, and that is that he utters a lot of statements that relate to God and blessings. Bro, just go to a church. The second night is when things get heated. More of the story is revealed, where Lisa states how you're there only to collect data for the company, which is a better reason than nothing. Oh, and turns out Mickey can actually see, and there's more characters coming out to get you. 3 new characters to be exact, which are Oswald and the Face, which were mentioned previously, and Disembodied. Oswald performs the same as photo-negative Mickey and is written of the same way, except he's slower and more prone to being hidden in the shadows as he is all black, so that's fun. The Face shows up randomly on your desk, and the way to get rid of him is to just pull your camera up. Disembodied appears at random as well, but what it does is attract Mickey and Oswald to come closer to your office with how loud he screams on your desk. Unfortunately, he goes away at random, however you can disable certain cameras in order to make him disappear. And that's where the game ends, with there only being 2 nights since it's a demo after all. To summarize the positives and the negatives, all the characters have wicked cool mechanics, the story is kind of intriguing, the models and rooms are highly detailed for what they're worth, but it's too dark to see well, nights are way too long, and Disembodied isn't a good name. I'm sorry. Excluding the issues, the game is impressive for being the first popular FNaF fan game, and since it basically is the first FNaF fan game, would this ever make the Fazbear Fanverse initiative, since it's noteworthy for starting the movement for all these other FNaF fan games to be made? No, of course not. This thing has Disney lawsuit threats plastered all over it. Afterwards, FNaTI Treasure Island got many updates and improvements over the years, such as a second demo, a fully remastered version, a demo made by developer group Purity Sinners, another demo from Purity Sinners, and finally a second remastered version by the original developer. And then afterwards it was shelved for a while. Not to mention there were a lot of other characters that were added throughout these versions, such as Photo Negative Mini, And of course, God. Thankfully now the game is actually getting a full version with a whole new team behind it, which includes an art, and it looks really promising from the videos and images displayed on the game job page. I highly suggest you to give these guys some support, after you've given me support, that is. How do you do that? Well, by liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, belling. Yeah, okay, bye.